Hello and welcome to another episode of Fans Forum here on expressandstar.com. I have here an
not esteemed this time.
Abjectly esteemed Wolves columnist,
yeah.
John Lalley. John, it's been a tough time just of late, isn't it? But Saturday, a point, is that? We'll touch upon that briefly. I know you've touched upon it, and strange time to be a home fan at Molineux at the moment, isn't it? You would talk a little bit about those experiences, what it's been like of late. So.
Well, I don't see that point as any great turning point. I think Swansea absolutely threw the game away. I think some of the hoo-ha about the supporters has really deflected from the performance, which, let's face it, was absolutely awful. In a match that we were talking about as must-win, the Wolves were dreadful.
Should we really be talking about must-win games at this early stage? I mean, is there such a thing?
No, that's a very fair point. I wasn't talking about a must-win game myself, but when you look at the fixtures that are coming up, that particular game and Wigan coming up next at Molineux, I mean, the points have got to come from somewhere. I don't think they're coming from Manchester City on Saturday. The next away match is against Everton, Manchester United, Arsenal. I don't think there's much coming from there either. Until we get something at Molineux, then we're going to stay in the position that we're in.
Yeah, well, although saying that, Wolves last season pulled a few of those out of the bag, didn't they? Can you see that happening again?
There were some incredible results, of course, against the top teams last year, but I think it's asking a lot that we'd repeat that this time. Really, this is the lowest point for some while. I don't quite see where the answer's coming from.
Goodness. On
this current run of form. I mean, the defending is so bad. Yet again, another 2-goal lead gifted to the opposition who didn't have to work very hard for it. I mean, until this nonsense ends, I mean, we've got no hope of going anywhere.
How much are the fans playing a factor in this? Certainly the ones that are booing or getting onto the players' backs. Is that leading to nerves on the field and so on? I know Roger Johnson's alluded slightly to that as well. And
well, with the greatest respect, I think Roger ought to look at his own performance, because he's hardly been inspirational since he came to the club. The fans, if you lose 5 games in a row, any set of fans are going to be angry. I didn't like the way that Mick was treated on Saturday, any more than I've liked previous Wolves managers getting it in the neck.
Gave him so back.
And if well, you know, that's the way he is. He reacts in that way to the amusement of all the neutrals. But the top and bottom of it is that the problem is going to be solved by Mick and the players, not the supporters. Whether the supporters are for Mick or against Mick, they've got to get their own act in order. And at the moment, I just don't quite see how they're going to do it.
Okay. As a man in the stands, how under pressure is McCarthy at the moment? Can you recall it being as bad for him?
Well, to be fair to him, there's always been a group of the Wolves supporters that even if Mick delivered the Premier League, that they wouldn't be happy. Yeah. He's lucky, of course, that he's got a chairman and a chief executive who are very, very supportive of him, and that's a good thing. But I think the number of dissenting voices is increasing. I'd stick with him for the time being. Certainly I would. I'd give him a little bit longer. But it's got to be turned around fairly quickly. I mean, Saturday was absolutely abject, and I think much of the strong reaction has taken away the point that the performance was so bad. Okay, John. Final point: how many more abject days is McCarthy likely to get? Well, let's get a little bit of self-respect back.
I know you're not the chairman, but
no, let's get a little bit of self-respect back at Manchester City on Saturday if we possibly can.
Or Wednesday.
Or Wednesday, yes. Although that's suddenly, I was looking forward to a good run in the League Cup, but suddenly that doesn't seem remotely important, does it? Let's avoid the tennis score that Manchester United suffered against City at Eastland.
Very similar defending.
The Etihad Stadium. Well, yes, but no. All joking aside, you know, we want the best for the club, and we want them to be doing better, because they are capable of doing better. They've got to get some organisation into their defending, because at the moment it's just haphazard, it's chaotic, and we can't possibly move on until something is done about the defending. Okay, those are the thoughts of our Wolves columnist John Lalley. He's been in better moods, that's for sure. Ahead of the Manchester City double-header, God knows what's going to happen next, we certainly don't know. Okay, I'm Craig Birch and John Lalley, we'll see you next time.